Alrighty Tracy, we challenge the auction self, the Suppressors, Cascade Arsenal, and Takedown Limit. We don't actually have any suppressors, so we could in theory bring a CHA, but that's not generally the best idea no matter what. But we do indeed have a breaching charge that we can use to make things slightly faster later on. But then again, there's still Cascade Arsenal, so we're essentially not going to be bringing whatever we want, even though the options are still rather appealing. I mean, they're all generally stealth weapons. Maybe with the exception of the, well, CHA. And then finally there's Takedown Limit, which is quite simple. We're just going to wait for the camera operator to show up. And that's going to be our first takedown because we can't actually clear everyone now, which is certainly a bit unfortunate, but that's going to be perfectly alright. And now I'm rather certain that the camera operator is actually upstairs, somewhere over there, because of, well, how far we've gone so far and how long we've had to wait. So when you get off the radio, get down on the ground, and then we can grab a keycard and get rid of the scrambler, which we, for some reason, brought. But also, we don't actually need a lockpick, so we're just going to not bring it, since that's the simplest solution, because we're just going to be using breaching charges, which I still do not have a disguise, so we're going to go back and grab the disguise, so that we don't run up the stairs and get caught trespassing before we actually start working on a mission, which we still do need to work on a clipboard, which I probably should have done before I actually took the disguise, but you know what, that's alright. We can most definitely make do with that. And you know what we can also do? We could also lure the auctioneer, but we can't actually interrogate him as of yet, so we're gonna have to wait a bit longer than right now, so things don't go terribly wrong. So we're just gonna quickly visit here. That's the first clipboard. And the second one's not over there, so we're just gonna read it. That's all there is to it. And then we've got a few more to find after we finish reading that one, because that's completely useless to us, and we want a second one, which it's not here, but I'm just gonna go upstairs and you're not gonna follow me, and there's gonna be nothing over here, which is quite simple, so we're just gonna keep jumping around and it's not gonna be suspicious at all, because that's kind of how things work. And then we're gonna read a clipboard over here, and then afterwards we're just going to, well, find a laptop, and then afterwards lure the auctioneer as far away as feasibly possible, which it's not faster detection, so that's a very viable method. Now I'm realizing that there's not actually a spot over there, so we have to go upstairs over here because that's where the actual spot is. So we're just going to go over here. We're going to search it. And then we're just going to wait for the auctioneer to go somewhere convenient to lure a bit further, which we're just going to stand barely over there. Once that stops, we're going to shut ourselves in here for some reason. And then afterwards we're going to find the auctioneer, which maybe not the most efficient method, but hi there you. If you could just follow me for a bit, that would be absolutely stellar. Just saying, just keep walking. And then we're just gonna get down over here so that you can hopefully move a bit closer, so that we can get you down and get you to, well, be interrogated. Now, someone did see me for a second over there, which we're just going to assume is going to be perfectly fine, because we're just going to knock him out. And then I suppose we're just going to leave it inside the car, which is perfectly inconspicuous, but once we're done with that, we're going to go back upstairs, search the laptop, and then afterwards things should be relatively simple from there on out. In the sense that we still have a few interrogations, but it'll be fine. So just start with that. We'll quickly scour this area to see if this is the correct one that we're looking for, which it is not, so we're just gonna go anywhere but over there, such as maybe over here, which is actually a locked door, and then there's one more spot which is downstairs, which is actually the one that we're looking for. And even though we could just lockpick that to actually just search the archives, which could in theory be faster, maybe not the best idea in this case. I mean, we still have to get a lockpick, and it might take much longer if it's not the first, well, set of archives that we search, so we're just gonna hack the computer, we're just gonna wait to see where the, well, employee goes, and hopefully it's not gonna be upstairs right out over there, looking out into the darkness, which would be relatively suboptimal. So if you could just go in the absolutely perfect spot, and if you could just put your hands up, go in this corner, that would be genuinely quite stellar, so I can grab the keycard, interrogate you, and then run downstairs. Hopefully without firing a shot, because it is still, well, no suppressors. Hi there. Let's not have this right now. This is not the time, but we're just gonna go through here. We're gonna relatively simply get it open, which isn't really of much concern. The open vault's not suspicious anyways. And then afterwards, we can just use the breaching charge, and then, well, we can just get out of here, which is relatively simple, but unfortunately, we're not going to get it in a decent amount of time, or in that case, in, well, under 5 minutes. So if you could just put your hands up, that would be genuinely quite stellar, so that we can run out through here. And then we can get out of here before that causes any problems. But regardless, we're still under 5 minutes and 10 seconds, so that's the daily challenge done in just under 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Cheers everyone, have a great time!